we had the heart to heart. And I go, Brent, how much do you make at your job?
Mm-hmm.
He told me, I go, I think you ought to quit your job. Because we had all this money just sitting in the bank that people paid. And and I flipped that website back on and we made almost $965,000 in 30 days.
Welcome to the Know Your Ship podcast, presented by eHub. I'm your host, Frank Dolce. This is Russ Warner, CEO, founder of Ghost Boards. We have one right here. It's an amazing company. Anyway, well, we're excited to have you tell us the story of Ghost Boards and your career and what led up to it and why you're so passionate about it today. And it's a great company.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing this in to show us. This one is called the Wave.
Yeah, the Resin Wave.
The Resin Wave, one of the popular models. Anyway, let's jump into it. And you mentioned that you have a background in banking, 30 years.
Yeah,
in banking?
I was in mortgage banking. So I started out of college. I owned like a lawn care business in college.
You're a lifelong entrepreneur.
Yeah, I had a business when I was in middle school. I had a chocolate company when I was in middle school. And so I would sell chocolates and suckers to like St. Mark's Hospital. And that kept me really busy through elementary and junior high. So
were you reselling or were you making?
No, I was making and selling. So I'd stay up till midnight after school and mix chocolates and put them in molds and Easter bunnies for Easter time, hearts for Valentine's Day, Santa Clauses for Christmas, and then suckers, every flavor of sucker and mold type. So I was spending a lot of my profits buying more molds and more molds. And so, yeah, in elementary school, I was an entrepreneur and then got into doing a lawn care business. And that grew pretty big. And my brother came to me and he says, why don't you grow up and get a real job? You know, because in lawn care, you know, you have a Jeep, no doors, no shirt on. You know, you're kind of just doing what you do.
Yeah.
But I had like 5 employees. And so I sold it. And he says, come get a white shirt and tie job. So I wasn't.
This is an older brother?
Yeah. So I went into mortgage and stuck there for like 30 years.
So were you a broker? You mortgage broker?
Yeah, I started out as a broker and then I went and merged with a bigger corporation. And there I was told, come on inside and be the gut and fix guy. So it was the wholesale side. So I would fly out to offices, fire everybody, restart it. I was the guy you didn't want to see in the beginning.
Oh.
And I lived on a plane Tuesday to Fridays. So they say, all right, Russ, go to Oklahoma. All right, go to Colorado, go to Texas. You wake up, you don't know what hotel you're in, what state you're in.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. And I love Texas. I love some of these places. I started spending 3 weeks out of the month just in Texas, you know, building a lot of business there. So I got up to I had like 38 offices and hundreds of employees and that song Cats in the Cradle, Silver Spoon, that was my life. My kids.
For your kids.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
But you realize.
But you never see them.
Yeah. I never had time. Even when you're home, you fly home and then every weekend you're trying to get caught up. And so eventually I'd have figured out another bit, you know, a little midlife crisis.
Is that how Ghost Boards came along? Yeah,
Ghost Boards came about.
So you're in the banking business.
Yeah.
And are you having these like feelings during this time? Like, I'm not, well, this is really tough on my family.
Certain corporate businesses, they always dangle that carrot. You're this close. You're this close to getting the reward. And you're making a lot of money and you have all these sky miles. You have all these hotel points,
benefits,
and you don't want to use them. You want to go home and have a PBJ and a glass of milk. You don't want another steak. You don't want to leave to another vacation. You don't want to be on another plane.
No.
And so I need to figure out, when you start getting older, you're like, okay, what am I doing all this for? And I'm like, okay, I need to be around. I need to do something with my kids. They don't want to talk to me about mortgage. That's boring. Yeah. But my whole family was in it, and I think that was hard on them. Like, I met my wife in mortgage. My brother owned a mortgage company. My father-in-law was in mortgage. My mom was in title. My other brother was an appraiser. My other one is in mortgage.
You're in deep.
So you go to a Sunday dinner, there's nothing but mortgage talk. And talking about that's excitement right there.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the rate
Yeah.
fluctuation?
Oh, yeah. Do you see that? See what?
What are we getting on the back end on this one?
Yeah, that was all the discussion. So,
Well, that sounds fascinating.
so yeah, Ghost Boards is an interesting story.
It is.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to ask you about this because I've listened to a lot of things that you like podcasts and other things and things that you've said, and I really like that you are really reflective about all of your experiences and the lessons that you've learned. So I'm curious about this particular experience in your life. So you're successful. You're doing well in the mortgage industry and highly regarded in the industry, but you have this maybe a little bit of a crisis of is this what I should be doing? Is this what I'm doing? Am
I making a difference?
Am I making a difference? Am I attentive to my family? Like all of these things. So what is in your experience, people who are going through this, what advice would you give them? What did you learn from that experience? Would you get out of it sooner?
If you have a midlife crisis, just go buy the sports car.
I'm there. No, I'm just...
No, you do. You get your 40s, 50s, and you start saying,
yeah,
what am I doing with my kids? What am I doing with my spouse? What am I doing with this world? Is it about just making money? Is it about making a difference? In a mortgage, you lie to yourself in certain businesses. Oh yeah, I'm making a difference, helping people buy a house. American dream.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think why my heart has been more on the skateboard world. It's more than creating a product or seeing your product in the wild is one of the coolest things. All of a sudden, I'm in Florida, or actually one time I was in Hawaii. Someone came to me like, "Hey, I know who you are. I follow you on Instagram." And, like, wait, what? Can I get a picture of you? Or I was out in California one time and I was doing this event for Back to the Future, and two people rode up on their ghost boards. And I call that senior product in the wild is the wildest thing you can ever do. You're like, oh my gosh, I feel more giddy about it. Like, can I get a picture with you? Than the other way around. And there's this feeling of when you create something that's around the world, everywhere, you love it, you have a passion for what you made, and then how are you making a difference? And for me, Ghost Boards has been a little bit of a twofold of, it gets people off their phones and outside to go enjoy the graphics outside, because I would say the graphics are really cool outside. They're better than your phone. They're not pixelated. I think number two, I feel like I've made a difference in so many teenagers' lives of having their first job, working in a factory, making skateboards, learning skills, and having fun. They'll blast music, have a lot of fun, and enjoy what they do each day versus, oh my gosh, I got to go to work to earn money. Kids actually text me all the time, is it okay if I come in today? Can I come in early today?
Yeah.
They love being there. So I think my experience when I was 16, I had a great boss that made a difference for me. And I kind of wanted to pay it forward. So
what was that? What was the 16-year-old?
I worked at a chemical factory. And there's three brothers that own this chemical business. And I was employee like number 6, and I'd come in there at 16, and they gave me almost the whole warehouse to run. So I'd mix the chemicals, did all the shipping, and just took ownership of this chemical factory and loved it. And they kept encouraging me to, this is what you need to do, make decisions. And so early age, I just kept learning, oh yeah, no, I can do this. I can figure it out and just have fun at it. And so I loved going to work.
Yeah. So was would that be how your boss made a difference? Is kind of this idea of empowering you?
Yeah, empower me and always encouraged me. You know, even when I got a little bit older, he says, Russ, this isn't for you. This isn't your life. And pushed me like, you need to go do more. Because I was like, no, if you pay me $3,000 a month, I'm a lifer with you. You know, when you're 20 years old.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, back then I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm a lifer. I love this. He goes, no, you need to go now, go to school, go figure out what you want to do and become more than really $3,000. So he always encouraged me all the way around.
Yeah. Okay, so now I know we're skipping around here a little bit, but now you're a boss. Now you're an owner. Now you're a CEO and all the other things. Are you able to utilize those lessons? Do you use those lessons you learned from that boss or whomever and like you said, pay it forward?
Yeah, so going back, my boss at the chemical factory, I got kicked out of school when I was a senior in high school. And I was living in an apartment to finish up school, and I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And he kept encouraging me, hey, why don't you go do a church mission? I was like, I don't know what that is. So I got kicked out of church when I was younger for having a mohawk, being a skater mohawk kid. So I was trying to figure out, all right, do I go back to church? I got kicked out. Do I do this thing that my boss said, go on a church mission to figure out who I am? And he came to me and goes, if you go, I'll pay for it. I was like, all right, I don't know what else I'm doing. And so I went down to the church mission. I had my Marlboro t-shirt on and hair down to here. And they said, you can't wear that shirt. You can't have that hair. And I was like, oh, okay. And we're sending it to California. Like, all right, perfect. And so paying it forward, we've done a lot of scholarships for a lot of kids that work for me. Pay for their college if they're going to go to college. We've given, and we have them write a paper. How did Go Sports change your life? And we've paid for some missions too. You know, kids that want to go on missions, and then giving kids jobs when they got back. So part of it is I wanted to do what my boss did to me, pay it forward to other kids. And when you get so many teenagers working for you, it's you become a little bit of their person they want to talk to, because they won't talk to their parents about their depression, their anxiety, what's going on in school, or their bullying. And I became this boss that I had lines of kids that come in my office and just want to spill. And I felt this responsibility to listen to them and try to help them through their things that they won't talk to their parents about. Because they're embarrassed about something. Or So I love the job of being this owner, co-worker of these teenagers that they're going through this lost stage of life. They don't know what they want to be. They don't know what they want to do when they graduate. And they just talk to me. And I just talk back and listen to them like, so what do you want to do? Do you want to own this? Do you want to own a skate shop? You know, you've seen this. Or do you want to go be a doctor? Do you want to go to college? You know, do you want to date somebody? Do you want to?
Well, I think that's interesting because a lot of it is just trying to help people understand or figure out what they're passionate about doing. And if you can find that, you're probably in a pretty good spot.
And there's some of those kids, oh yeah, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a dentist. And the others like, I don't know what I'm doing after high school. And a lot of them say, I don't know how to deal with this being bullied, or I don't know how to deal with depression.
Well, you know, it's interesting because you get to manage or help manage that with kids early on in their careers. You have a lot of teenagers, and younger kids working for the company, but it happens at all stages. Like
it does.
There's 30-year-olds and there's 40-year-olds and there's 50-year-olds who are still don't know exactly if what they're doing is what they're supposed to be doing, and they have depression and they have all the other issues. So you can be a sound, I guess what I'm saying is,
and a soundbar life coach.
You can be that at any
someone
stage.
They can talk to.
And that's really awesome that you have been able to find that opportunity
And that's what I look
provide
at.
that.
So what's the difference between mortgage and this? I feel like
Mm,
I get to be more open with people, or they
mhm.
get to be more open with me and just talk life versus, what's going on in your life? What addictions do you have? What are you guys doing? And coach them through some stories I've heard from other people to what's going on in their life. Sometimes just listening.
That has to be a really great culture
Yeah.
that you've built. Sometimes I think regarding culture, it's challenging because there's so many things that you could say or do, and someone's going to get offended or feel bad about it, and so you lose some of the opportunity to be open
Yep.
and have those discussions with people. So I think what you're doing and what you've created is really meaningful. And sometimes you walk into a sterile environment. That's not everybody just does their job and they're in their cubicle and
And no one knows anything about anybody.
yeah,
And
exactly.
some of them want it that way. And
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Anyway,
yeah.
good for you. That's exciting. So can you tell us why you were kicked out of high school? Can you talk about that? Or are there some?
Yeah, my parents were divorced, and my mom was working 2 jobs. She was gone at 6 a.m., come home at 11 o'clock at night. And the reason she worked all this because she wanted us to live in a neighborhood that would give us opportunity for me to meet friends and learn what life could be. Right.
Mhm.
So we lived up at Upper Sandy that no way we should have been there. But she worked all these hours so I could make friends with people that had dads and around and parents and dinner. And so I spent a lot of time eating at friends' houses. That's why I had a business, because if I needed food or I needed clothes, I had to buy it myself.
Yeah.
So it was more survival. My mom was on survival mode, so I became on survival mode. And so when I was a senior, my sister couldn't decide what she was doing. Was she going to go to college? She was 2 years older than me, and my mom got really upset with her. She kind of took it out on me.
Mm-hmm.
And because one day I came home, I don't know, midnight or 1 a.m. She's like, "Where have you been?" I go, as a teenager, like, "Why do you care? You're never here." I mean,
Yeah.
I see you on Sunday, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And being me a smart teenager, I'm sure I probably said other stuff in my head. I wasn't that bad. So she goes, "You get out of here." So I did. I packed up. My brother was going up to the U and had a roommate. My dad owned this 16-plex in the ghetto
Mm-hmm.
of Salt Lake. And we're talking, it also had bars on the window. I mean,
Yeah.
It was a ghetto
Rough.
apartment building. And my brother's like, "Hey, you can come live with us. You got to pay rent." But he's a college kid and he's 6 years older than me. So I'm like, okay, I'll go move in there and finish up high school.
Mm-hmm.
And it was survival mode there. And so one of the roommates, he worked at a gas station. So we could go there every day. The milk was expiring that day, or the food they're going to throw out. We'd go gather up all that food. And then we made friends with all these girls that worked at the Dairy Queen and flirted with them. And so we could go there anytime and go in the back and make our own food. Sorry, Dairy Queen owner, whoever you are, but you made me live.
Yeah.
So we'd go
He was
back.
providing a service.
Yeah, they provided service for us. So we could go back and make food anytime we wanted. So we lived off the gas station throwouts and the Dairy Queen. So that's how we survived. And then trying to work 2 jobs, pay for school, pay for a car, pay for life.
All the stuff.
Yeah.
Man. Well, these are things that I told you when you walked in that I felt like I knew your story,
Something a little different.
but this is none of the story that I knew. And this is also meaningful because I think it just tells us about the desire that you had to
I think
succeed.
I think any CEO, they go into a company and talk about, oh, how did you make the board and how to come about, and oh, I saw you go viral on TikTok and all these things. But I think there's always a passion behind every CEO, why they do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the danger, I think, of most CEOs. We become compulsive, addictive to our business.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually had to go to therapy with my kids because they've said, you love work more than us.
Mm.
And it's true. Actually, that was a true statement. I mean, I hate to admit it, but I had to.
Mm-hmm.
I loved to go spend time working because you have to look at your background. My mom taught me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why this
I was told
history
you
is so
love work.
interesting.
You go to work at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
You stop at midnight.
Yeah.
'Cause that's all I ever knew from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it. So I
Mhm.
worked at the chemical company and then Sizzler.
Yeah.
And so I always, even in college, when I had the lawn care business, then I went and worked at Red Robin. Because I go, what do I do with this time at night? And so I went and filled the void of what I was taught.
Yeah.
So you go work a second job.
Yeah.
And it's actually my entire life. Actually, I gave up mortgage only like a year ago.
You're kidding.
No,
How long has Ghost Boards been around?
8 years.
And you were still doing mortgage?
Because I have this desire to work 2 jobs. And it's in my DNA. I've been taught it my entire life.
Well, you said it earlier. It's like this survival mode that clicked on early.
Yeah.
And maybe it just has never left. Like,
No, it hasn't. And the survival mode, I don't know. I've gone to therapy. I've done stuff. And I took a vacation last year with my family and I did not bring work with me. That was one of the promises my kids made me do.
were you like kind of twitching?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I got to look at my phone. I don't have a board with me. And I've always loved work. And that's, I go back to that Cats in the Cradle song. It is my life.
Yeah.
I've lived it. I'm trying to do as much as I can with my kids now. And so even today, I try to plan out with my kids, okay, yeah, we're going to have dinner. We're going to do this, and I can start separating a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's been ingrained in me for so long that survival is what you do.
Well, I mean, absolutely. I think prioritizing family is crucial and critical. And I think, you could point to data that demonstrates a lot of highly successful people come from a background of a loving and supportive and meaningful family experiences. And so that, absolutely. But I also think at some point, maybe your family will recognize the sacrifice. And
They have. We've worked through a lot of therapy and talking through it. And, my dad's 90 and he's still like, you don't stop working, otherwise you die. And so I got it from both sides.
I don't disagree with you.
And people look at, Russ, what's your hobby? Do you like to go golfing or boating or this or skiing? And I'm thinking, well, if I go golfing, it's 4.5 hours. I wonder how much work I could get done.
Yeah. You know what?
And part of my hobby is work. I love it. It's like we were talking a little bit earlier. I love doing SEO. Like, how do you get number one? It's almost a video game for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take this keyword. I'm going to make it number one. Like I made this board, this cheeseburger longboard. It looks like a cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to go figure out now, if you look up world's greatest cheeseburger in Utah, I'm like number 2. Even though I don't make cheeseburgers, I'm longboard, because it was like a game for me. How do I become passionate about the game of SEO?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're just wired a little differently.
I think I am, but I think I was wired because way my dad was.
Because of your
mom.
life experience.
And I think everybody, when they go into marriage, I tell people when you get married, okay, you're both coming from 2 different backgrounds. My wife was the oldest of 5 girls, and I was the youngest of 4, then blended family, 9 kids, stepbrothers, like everything. And I was told, if you want a car, you go buy it yourself. If you want to go to college, you go get a job to go to college. My wife grew up, here's college funds. We're going to put you in a dorm.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do study abroad.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit different life. And then you get married. And you're like, how are we going to raise our kids? I don't know, they're going to work 2 jobs. It comes out of my mouth. They're like,
Right.
the other side is like, no, school's going to be important. And I'm like, well, I didn't finish college. You don't need college. And my wife's like, well, I finished in 3 years. Yes. So you come together in this love language and then say, how do we work through this to raise kids?
Mm-hmm.
I think my wife's been a lot more patient with me, raising kids, growing up and supporting me in work, because we actually met at work.
Yeah.
So she actually entered my world. So we'd work till midnight every day in the mortgage business together.
Oh.
We bought our first house and we had a blow-up couch in the front room. And we lived there 2 years and we used the microwave 3 times and the oven once because we were never there. We had this 3,500 square foot house on a half acre. And I can't tell you anything about the house. We had our bed and a blow-up couch. We didn't even own a table because she entered my world of we're just going to work.
Oh.
And so she's been more supportive on my side.
Yeah.
Of like, oh yeah, Russ works. I'm going to support him in work. So she followed me in doing mortgage, then into real estate. And then she helped me with ghost boards, any of my adventures,
Mm-hmm.
about her business ideas. She jumps in and supports. And I'm like, I got to figure out how to support her, not just the financially side.
Yeah.
But in the family side.
Sure. There's value in both sides. Like,
we're yin and yang. And I think that's why we've done so well together. She takes care of things I don't like to. I take care of things that she doesn't like to. And
you've been able to find a balance.
Yeah. And it's worked out really well for us. I mean, 27 years we're going on. So
amazing. Well, congratulations.
Yeah. So we made it through, these crazy life adventures and starting businesses and, changing mortgage companies to, all that fun, crazy stuff in life.
Well, I mean, probably your personal life experience as well. You're just willing to go to work. And so even if that's a marriage and a family, you'll just go to work on it and figure it out.
Well, that's always been, I try to tell my kids, I go, whatever hits you in the face, you just have to figure it out. And so if you fell at something, just get up.
Mm-hmm.
None of us would learn how to walk if the first time we fell and scratched our knees and said, that kind of hurt, I'm not going to do walking
I'm never
anymore.
walking again.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
No, you got up, you put a Band-Aid on it. Same thing with riding a bike, riding a skateboard, work. Sometimes you're going to get fired. Sometimes you're going to mess up. Sometimes you're going to make a mistake and you have to say, all right, what I learned from that and not do it again. So,
it's funny that you mentioned that. I was just thinking about this the other day about how we approach things when we were younger and how we approach things when we're like how we might approach the same thing when we're older. I was thinking about hitting a baseball of all things. And I can remember distinctly swinging and missing and swinging and missing and swinging and missing. But then I'd hit that one.
Yeah.
And that one was like a home run.
And it felt so good. And you forgot about everything.
Everything else. And that was success. And I'm just like...
And you could be a pro and only do 30% of your job.
And be successful.
Yeah, be successful. 30% of your job, you are the best of the best.
But I think we're so concerned about the miss that we don't take a chance of hitting the home run. Like...
Oh, for sure.
As a kid, you approach it so much differently.
And I think I've actually... So I've been trying to get into like Vans. I want to sell my boards in Vans. So, I'm wearing a pair of Vans here.
Vans, the shoe.
The shoe, because they've got like 600 stores. And I'm kind of relentless. So I email the guy every month, the buyer.
Uh-huh.
And then I've driven down to California like 10 times, knocked on the door. And then I sent him like 5 boards. Every month I'd send him another one. He finally called me, this guy named Blitz. He's like, all right, Russ, I've got all your emails. I've got all your boards. Let's talk. I was like, sweet. This only took me 12 months to get you to pick up a phone to call me.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing as swinging the baseball. I finally got this win. I'm like, all those misses.
Absolutely. And you hit a home run.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you're hitting a home run.
We're we're close on a bunch of these now new relationships. I keep doing that with. Keep swinging.
So where I grew up in Culver City, down the street, kind of toward Santa Monica, is the original Vans retail store. That's where we used to buy all of our shoes. So we grew up in Vans. So really excited to hear you doing a collaboration with my childhood shoe.
It's actually funny. The reason I own this pair, because I was going down there and I realized I wasn't wearing a pair of Vans.
Oh.
So I had her and go swing by, buy a pair of Vans. So I didn't want to show up in the corporate office.
With your New Balance.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So that's why I own this pair here.
Nice.
But I think that's being a chameleon. I think if you walk in, if I walk into Ron John's surf shop, I actually always buy a Ron John's surf shop shirt.
You have to have the shirt.
I have a bunch of them now because I walk in there. I want to go look at all my boards on the racks. And I want to show that I support them too.
Yeah.
So I always have a Ron John shirt when I walk into Ron John's.
Absolutely.
So you have to be a chameleon to wherever you go.
Mm-hmm. That's a good life lesson. Just a good business lesson.
Yeah. If you're gonna go,
understanding your audience.
Yeah. You're going to go work with the Jazz. Put on a Jazz shirt. Don't take off
take off your Lakers
shirt. Yeah. Don't walk out. I mean, I think you have to always know your surroundings, from home life, your work life, to business, and what you're trying to do.
I couldn't agree more. I think being thoughtful about your surroundings, understanding your audience, critically important.
Yeah, I hate when I get these AI LinkedIn emails. Hi, you're looking like your business is doing so great, and we would love to collaborate. Click here on my Calendly to book appointment. And I still respond with like, hey, when you write this with you and not an AI, I'll talk. I always say the same thing. Like, when your human wants to write me a message, let me know.
In all of the automations and desire to be ultra productive, utilizing stuff like AI, it goes against everything that you've learned about building relationships.
Yeah, everything. And I'm embracing AI in certain things.
Sure.
It helps me with SEO and product descriptions and, some things. But a lot of it, I think, I was talking to my son actually last night about this. He thinks there's going to be a bubble. It's going to go a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And then it's going to burst.
Yeah.
Like, okay, no more AI people on Instagram. No more AI movies.
Yeah.
And no more AI written emails. Let's go back to kind of face-to-face. Because we went into COVID and we all separated out of office buildings.
Put a mask on.
Yeah, put a mask on and didn't talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's now a whole generation that grew up into this.
Yeah.
I'm going to work from home, not going to talk, never going to go. And I grew up, you're not allowed to eat lunch unless it's with somebody. That was you go through 1,000 business cards a month. That's the way my brother taught me. He goes,
yeah,
you don't get lunch unless it's with a business partner.
Never eat alone.
Yeah, never eat alone. So I'm like, so I train all my guys. You don't eat alone or you don't eat. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you doing? Why would you eat alone?
Our most meaningful interactions in our business at eHub are always face-to-face.
Yeah.
If we can get a customer, if we can get a partner on site and sit across the table and have lunch and discuss, those are always our most meaningful interactions. Yeah, we do Zoom meetings and we do all that stuff and it's useful, but we never get as much out of the interpersonal interaction.
Because people do business with somebody they have a relationship with, and they have something they've done with them.
Mm-hmm.
They have some story now with
Absolutely.
them. Until you have that something, that's why the old guys, older than us, they did all their deals on the golf course because they had experience now with them golfing, or always at a dinner.
Or they always went to Lamb's Cafe downtown, or the coffee shop at Little America.
It was done over a steak. It was done over something.
Yeah.
And I think they had so much success with that elbows on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Should we do business together? Should we be friends? Do we see eye to eye?
It's still the old adage. And I mean, the relationship portion of business is maybe as meaningful as anything else. I mean, you're going to have the data, you're going to have the numbers, you're going to have all of the information, but at the end of the day, if you're sitting face to face with two people, and one you've built a relationship with, and one you don't really know, you're gonna
lean on them and say,
on that.
Tell me about this person.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All my recruiting and mortgage was relationship. I left this one mortgage company. I went to another one, and I had 28 branches follow me because I had this personal relationship. And that's hard. Just call people on the phone. Hey, would you like to move mortgage companies? They're like, I don't know you. Why would I move? All my business was done face to face. I could tell you most of my employees, I knew their wife's name, their kids' names.
Mm-hmm.
I had dinner with them. I've met them face to face. That's why I flew so much.
Yeah.
Because I was a face-to-face guy. I was like, I don't know if I want to hire you. And I don't know if you want to work with me until we get to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
This makes no sense for me to give you the pitch, why you should change, more money, this, that. I go, I don't know. Are we a right fit?
Yeah.
And let's just get to know each other.
I feel like this is, by the way, to me, so I manage strategic relationships. So this conversation is really meaningful to me. And I feel like the way that we utilize social media, especially the younger generations utilizing social media, that is a piece of humanity that we're starting to lose and miss, is building these relationships and talking to people and sitting down over lunch or going to dinner or spending time in an office together, whatever it is. Anyway, well, I really appreciate the relationship discussion that we've had, because I believe it's so meaningful. Clearly, that's been something that's been meaningful in your business experience as well. And so as we transition, I didn't mean to get off track, but I really thought that was a valuable discussion.
For sure.
But how did you utilize now all of this life experience you have? Because it's a really interesting story about how you finally got to manufacture Ghost Board.
I don't think I've changed. I still love, most CEOs, I call them, is step away from their company they don't understand anymore. A lot of CEOs don't understand, like for example, I know a lot of CEOs in the mortgage business have never done a mortgage in their life, or hadn't done it in 30 years. And so I was never one to be that guy of run a company that I didn't know everything about it. So I could tell you everything about Ghost Boards of any of my businesses I've ever done. I can tell you how much time it takes to cut that board, how much time it takes to assemble, how to ship this board to Fiji, how to do the label, because I want to be an expert to all the employees when they come to me and say, hey, Russ, will you come look at this? And I say, yes. And also, you never want to be put in a bind of all of a sudden, I always call it get hit by a bus syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Your CFO gets hit.
What happens?
Yeah, no one knows how to do a wire. No one knows how to do TAP, or payroll.
Yeah.
So I'm one of these, maybe over the top. I like to know everything, not maybe be an expert in it, but understand it. But how I use all of these life adventures into this business, I still talk to so many of the influencers myself. Actually, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to band members, to Hollywood people, to people all over. Because I also ask that same question, what do you want out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Do you just want a free product? Is that why you're really messaging me? Or can we have a relationship? So there's this new gal and down in California. She's this up and coming new artist. She loves our boards. She rides them while playing the guitar, singing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I kind of want to get to know you. So I went down to California and I met her and her mom and dad, everything, for breakfast.
Mm.
And I love it when these young influencers bring their parents involved, because I don't want their 18-year-old daughter meeting a 54-year-old guy at at somewhere random.
I'm sure.
So I always ask hey, let's get your parents involved. And now I just got a text message this morning from her mom. And so I'm usually talking to them saying, what do we want out of this relationship? You like our boards. I like you. You're up and coming. Let's build something together. Let's build merch. Let's put your logo on them. Let's sell them on your website. And so I'm a face-to-face guy when it even comes to this, like, let's just not give you a free product and you did one post for me and we parted as nothing.
No.
And that's the same thing with stores I go into. So if I'm going to go sell to a new store, I want to go see the store. I want to go see, what do you sell here? What's your surf shop? What's your hotel? What's your, what type of demographics do you have? Because I'll custom to it. So the boards I sell in Hotel Coronado are so different than what I sell at Ron John Surf Shop to what different than I sell in Saks Fifth Avenue. Every one of them is going to be a little bit different. Like Saks wants butterflies and girl boards with pink, and Hotel Coronado wants the California bear, and they want things about their hotel, and they want things about the beach. And Ron John's about, we need Ron John's and sharks and Woody, things like that. So they want a little bit different.
Yes.
Then I find another store like up in Wyoming, they want nothing but AK-47s on the board and bullets inside of it. It's for real.
I believe you.
So I am still that face-to-face guy when I do business with somebody, if it be wholesale or B2B or anything. I try to figure out, let's look at your business. Yeah, because I'll get a business will send me their boring logo for a company, like, oh yeah, I want 100 boards for all of our employees, and they'll send me, and I'm like, let's make it kind of cool. They don't want your, I won't pick on any names.
The logo,
your big old logo across it. No, make it small. Let's do a cool design now, because they don't want to ride around the. I won't say. I've seen some. I'm like, can we make it fun? Give them some new ideas. Yeah. All your employees are not just want to. You as a CEO love your logo, love your name, but your employees.
Yeah, you have this tie to it for sure.
Yeah, but the employees love you give them a paycheck, love you give them a cool longboard. They'll remember where they got it from, but let's not do it over the top with your logo all over it.
Yeah. Well, I think this is so valuable. Your experience with building relationships. A hard thing, one of the difficult things about building relationships is it's not a quick sale. It takes time.
Yep.
And you really have to be invested and develop.
But it costs more to keep replacing a relationship.
Absolutely. You build one meaningful relationship, and that's
and you got to take care of it. And so many people, I think, are transactional.
Yes.
And all they care about is go get another win, go get another win. And I get that even my side. I get sold like, oh, use me for your X. And then I never hear from that rep ever again. He sold me. And he's gone.
Well, and the rep.
That's the way he was paid. That's the way he's told.
Exactly. And that's how that individual is incentivized.
Yep.
To not, in some ways, incentive programs, compensation programs are designed to grow. And so it's like you make a sale. Now that compensation for that sale is short-lived. And now you have to go and do a new one.
Here's what they're missing, though.
This is you're exactly.
What they're missing is, if you do such a good job for that one guy, he's friends with lots of other business owners, lots of other executives, lots of other friends, and he may not stick there. If you make a good enough friend with him, he's going to start telling everybody about you. And every time I love the book Raving Fans by Ken Blanchard.
Absolutely.
Best book ever. If you create a raving fan, they're going to tell everybody about you. And that's what I built this on, is even a consumer, I don't know who just bought it, but if they have such a great experience of opening up the box and seeing it and loving it, you don't know who they're going to tell. And I had an experience. I went to a networking event the other night. This guy came up to me and was like, you did such a good job taking care of my son. This is 5 years ago. That all I do is talk about your company. And he then bought a board for this other guy named Sean Finnegan down in Utah County that gave it to another guy I found out this other guy is like, oh yeah, I was on a jet flying to this private thing, and your board was on this jet, and the CEO of this company thinks it's the coolest board ever. And I'm thinking all because you took care of somebody and created a raving fan.
Mm-hmm.
So even the transactional guy, even if you're selling cars,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm going to sell cars, you don't only buy one car your entire life.
Mm-mm.
If you sell a car to somebody, why aren't you just their car guy forever? And they call up and say, hey, I'm looking for this car. I got you. Let me go find it for you. I'll have it ready for you. You know, and just be their guy forever.
It's so interesting. I feel exactly the same way about the car industry, and I've purchased lots of different vehicles.
Do you remember any of your sales reps' names?
There's two guys.
So you do.
There's two guys who have done such a nice job of just making you feel like it's not the used car experience.
Yeah.
Like taking the time, calling back, following up. Like, I don't know how many times I've reached out to somebody and said, hey, I'm interested in this vehicle. And you get the standard response. And then maybe I send something back. And then that's the end.
Never hear from them again.
Yeah. It's so interesting to me.
Yeah. The raving fans, I learned from this guy, the restaurant Bugatti's in Texas.
Yeah.
So the guy, the owner is Z. So we called and made reservations. And he asked, okay, what's your name for the reservation? I go, Warner.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, well, what's your first name? That's weird. I go, Russ. He goes, okay, party for what? I go, there's going to be 4 of us. He goes, what's the other names of the party? I'm like, what in the world is going on? You know, like, okay, it's Linda Richardson, Lynn Beckstead, Denise Bickley, and Russ Warner. He goes, okay, I'll see you at 7. We get there, and this guy opens up both doors for us. We walk in. It's kind of a dive Italian restaurant. It wasn't like anything over the top.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in there, we sit down, and the menu said, welcome, XYZ Mortgage Company, because he asked where I worked too.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a rose for Linda and a rose for Denise. And then the water guy came over. He had white gloves on and a silver pitcher, and he called us by name. He goes, Mr. Warner, would you like tap water? Mrs. Richardson, would you like tap water? And I thought, are we being punked here? So I looked around. He did it. His job as the water guy is to memorize everybody's name in the restaurant at every table. And then the owner came over and greeted us. He goes, hi, my name's Z. And now I get a birthday card from him. I get a Christmas card. He has no idea I'm talking about him right now. He has no idea if I'd ever be back to Texas.
Mm-hmm. But guess what? If I go to Texas,
guess what? I tell everybody.
I'm going.
I tell everybody about Z.
Yeah.
And I remember his name. And this was literally 10, 12 years ago. And so I'm a raving fan.
Absolutely.
So in business, even if the car guy moves on to something else, if he's made a relationship with somebody, why wouldn't he stay in touch with them forever?
I don't know. And that's the other thing is like, okay, so I'm not going to buy a car every year, but I'm going to buy a car every few years.
Yeah, 3 to 5 years.
And if you, as the sales guy, have a relationship with 50 people, and those 50 people are buying a car every few years, that's a healthy business. And then that just continues to grow. I have a similar experience to that in Riverton, Wyoming, which is a tiny town in Riverton, Wyoming. And I had a son who went to school up there for a couple years, and I would go to visit him. And there's a few hotel options. And I landed on this one, Hampton Inn.
Okay.
And I got to the Hampton Inn, and very friendly when I walked in, and whatever. But when I got to my room, there was a note with my name on it, a personal note, welcome to Riverton, and here's all of the things we're excited about, Wyoming. Here's all of the things that you can do while you're in Wyoming. We're so grateful that you're here. We're so grateful that I still have that note at my house.
That is so cool.
Because that never happens. Like you
should frame it and put it on your wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so whenever I go back to Riverton, Wyoming, which I may never do, but I'm not staying anywhere else. I mean,
But we all remember those types of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know how many times when I used to fly a lot, I'd go down to Arizona. As soon as I walked in, guess what? They always put me in the same room. They knew my name. Hey, Russ, welcome back. I got you in room 621. And they just knew me. And so why did I keep going there? Why would I go to a different hotel?
Yeah.
These people, they always had the water for me, the free breakfast. They knew my name, asked me how everything was.
It's Cheers. It
is Cheers. Yeah.
As you walk in, Norm. I mean, it's that you create.
See, how do you do business like that today is the thing that with AI, with technology.
Yes. It's
technology can be a booster.
It can
to remind you to be human.
Yeah, it can be an effective tool, but it can't replace the interpersonal interactions.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've gotten way off track. I wanted to talk about ghost boards.
It's all part of ghost boards.
It is all part of it. I'm so glad we had that discussion leading up to this because I think it is all part of that. And your founding story of ghost boards is based on
being
all of these things.
I bugged my partner for 6 years.
Persistence.
Yeah.
Like you were working your regular job and you were also working on ghost board before you even knew it. Like, tell us the story. It's a great story.
Yeah. I mean, my partner Brent was a neighbor, the short version, and he made a board for his son when he was 11 years old. And this is like 15 years ago. Rode over my house. And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And I thought, I need one of those. And he told me no for 6 years.
He had an acrylic board.
Yeah. And I would ask him every month, hey, Brent, can I have one of those? Nope.
Why? This is what I've heard this story. And this is what I keep wanting to ask you. Why did he keep saying no?
Because he didn't want to make it. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to make me one.
That was it?
Yeah. And then after he gave me one, then I bugged him for 2 years to kind of sell them. And he kept telling me, and I understood. He goes, Russ, at the time, he was like in his 50s. And he's like, I don't want a second job. I know you like having a second job, but I don't want one. He goes, I go to work all day. I want to come home. And that's my life. And I go, but this could be really cool to share and make. And the whole conversation actually came down to a car. Because I said, you like a new car? And I said, how about I make you $400? I'll make me $400. And he said, yes. I hurried and went and made a Shopify website, like 2.5 hours sitting on my couch, put all the 10 designs up, and I went to work.
Did you make all the designs?
He came up with the 10 designs.
Oh, very cool.
He is a very talented guy when it comes to art and work. And
what is his background?
So he worked at this place called 360 Scenery. So he was building stages for like doTERRAs or those. Anytime they had these MLM conventions, they would hire his company. So he was running CNC machines. His background for that, he made lifeguard towers in California. So he lived in Laguna and he built lifeguard towers. So hands-on guy, an eye for design, an eye for making things perfect. He makes his furniture in his office. He makes his furniture, all of our furniture in our office. He made my desk. It's an acrylic longboard desk. Yeah, and so he makes everything. He makes all the display racks. So he's a perfectionist. And so he was like, all right, I'll come up with the fishbone, the Maui, the riptide, the Tortuga. He came out with these 10 designs. And I'm like, okay, I'll sell your 10 designs. And I'm a marketing guy, a relationship guy. And so I said, I'm going to get this out to the world for people to see it. So I got 79,000 photos on my phone. Every picture that's on the website, that's on social media, it's all from my iPhone. So I don't have a background. I don't know how to use things to clean up pictures. And I think people in business, they overthink starting a business. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I went to GoDaddy, found Ghost Longboard, bought it. I went to Shopify. Well, actually, I didn't even know what Shopify was. I Googled how to build a website, and Shopify popped up. And it was like $39.95. Like, okay, that sounds good. Bought the $39.95. I didn't overthink anything. And I just took a picture of a board and put it on the website and Then went and did a video of me riding it, put that on the website with the phone, and then opened up a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and just started posting. And then people would buy, and as I'd make the boards, so then Brent would take his lunch break and make these boards for me, drop them off my house 6 o'clock at night, and I'd build them. And then I'd take a picture of it, and I have one more picture. to share.
Right.
So every day you look at a lot of my early on pictures, it's all in my house or out in the street. So I'd have to look back and forth, no cars coming. I'd run a bunch out there, take a bunch of pictures, and look at the lighting, like, okay, yeah. And then I'd take pictures, take more pictures, and then I would go ride and do a video.
I have 2 questions about this. Does Brent have, like, was he passionate about skateboards, or did he just make one for his kids?
He doesn't know how to ride a skateboard, but he is a brilliant designer.
But his kid wanted. Yeah, thought his kid wanted.
Yeah, so Eric loved it, and
so his kid wanted a board, and he was like, "I'm not going to buy a board. I'm just going to make
one." Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That clears up that.
Yeah.
I love that he doesn't know how to ride a skateboard. Okay.
Yeah. So Brent, we're polar opposites. What makes us good business partners? He's tall, I'm short. He's an introvert, I'm an extrovert.
He's good looking.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And he loves the machines and he loves the design. And I love to sell. And I'm passionate about the riding of them and the selling and
the relationship.
And he'll tell everybody he likes to make my dreams come true. Because I'll say, Brent, I want one with lights on it. He's like, he'll roll his eyes like, all right, let me go figure out an LED, for it. And I'll say, so my latest one is, I'm like, yesterday I told him I want one that has so I'm making a balance board. But I go, I want the measure,
cool.
I want the little liquid thing that you measure, the bubble.
Like a
leveler. I want the leveler tube inside of it. So as you're doing the balance board,
you can see if you're level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I said, I want to do a liquid ghost board. And he rolls his eyes. Okay, let me go look. So I have all these ideas, and
you're the idea guy, and he's the one who actually.
I'll say, make me a cheeseburger longboard, make me a board with top ramen in it, and he'll figure it out. He's done it. I want a leveler, I want a balance board, I want a cornhole. So he made me LED acrylic cornholes now. So,
are you selling those?
Yeah.
Oh,
they're really cool.
Amazing. Well, I'm in.
Yeah. So I just keep coming up with crazy ideas. I'm a dreamer.
Yeah.
And Brent's like rolls his eyes at me.
He's the execution. You're the.
Yeah. Then he comes back and he tries to surprise me. He's like, all right, look what I made. I'm like, I love it. Yeah. Even like my desk, he surprised me that I think I was in Lake Powell or something. I come back and he had this cool longboard acrylic desk in my office.
Wow.
So yeah, I just, he's brilliant. Yeah. He's a smart guy. And so
it's 2 of you. 2 of you are brilliant.
I just come up with weird stuff.
So when you said, don't overthink starting a business.
Yeah.
Your thought on starting this business was, I know you were working in the mortgage industry. Yep. You were successful, doing well. Was your thought about this business, did you see the acrylic board and did you think, I could make $1 million with that board?
No, I don't think it was that. I mean, it was this could be a fun little hobby to have my kids help me do, build assembling some boards, go riding, teach them how to ride, and give Brent his $400.
A car payment of $400 a month.
Yeah. Yeah. For a car payment.
Yeah.
And I saw that it was a really cool product, but I didn't think it was going to just also do $1 million 1 month and say, I mean, when that happened, it was just wild.
So your thought in starting the business was like, it was cool.
Yeah. We could do 10, 20, 30 a month. And
people might like it. They'll have fun on it.
Yeah.
You grew up skateboarding and
now,
on the beach.
Now I need a longboard because I'm old.
Yes. And of course, you didn't have enough to do, so you wanted to have a...
Yeah. I didn't have a second job.
You didn't have a second job. And you thought, with my spare time, I'd love to just go longboard.
Go outside.
Be outside.
Take the dog for a run.
Yeah.
And it just become a passion of mine that I love.
So you didn't dig into the data and analytics and
No, I never.
what the market looked like.
Googled, I never did a SWOT analysis on it. I've never done. Wonder how many longboard. I didn't even know another longboard company. Really, well, I didn't know what my competition was because I was like, I don't have any competition. I still don't think I do because it's different. All other longboards are wood, made from China or Mexico. They all have silver trucks and black wheels.
Yeah.
And I wanted we have a 68% female demographic because we do butterflies, pink, purple, yellow.
And butterfly is one of your most.
It was one that went viral.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about this. You started this like, it's going to be a hobby. We'll sell a few boards. We'll have some fun. Get the family involved. The kids will like it.
Yeah.
And so when did you have this realization, like, wait a second?
Well, it was when we got over this girl named Maddie in Ohio bought the butterfly board that changed our life.
So Maddie, did she call the company or did she send it in like a?
No, she just ordered it on the Shopify website. Saw it on probably Instagram or somewhere.
And sent in a design or something?
Yeah, I think she said, can I get a butterfly on a board?
Okay.
Yeah, because we had a little you can customize your board on our website. And she bought a big, long 48 pintail, 17-year-old girl, and she did a TikTok. And
48?
Yeah, we had a
board?
Yeah, a tall one.
4-foot board?
Yeah, so we call it our pintail. It's a big, long board.
Yeah.
And she did a TikTok, and I wasn't allowed on TikTok because it's when adults were not allowed on it yet. It was kind of just a dancing thing for teenagers. They sing along to songs and do stuff. And
I have to admit, I still don't have TikTok.
Yeah, and we weren't allowed. It said if you're over like 25 years old, you shouldn't be on.
Is that right? Is that
back then?
Is that true? Like that was a TikTok thing?
Yeah, it was just dancing to music. And singing along to it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was fairly new. TikTok was still at its early stages.
Yeah.
And she did a TikTok and she said, hi, my name is Maddie. I bought this Ghost longboard, has a butterfly on it, has yellow trucks and pink wheels that light up. And let me show you how to ride it. And she did a video of her.
Like a tutorial?
Her first tutorial of riding our board. Then she did a part 2 and then part 3. But my phone just went ballistic. All of a sudden there was like that 600 orders in one day. And Brent, that's when you've heard the story. He gets so mad.
I know. I want to talk about
at me to shut the website off.
You have you have orders that are now multiplying.
Yeah,
as Brent said,
we had 1,000 orders by second day, and I shut the website.
And he said, shut it down.
Yeah, he goes, we can't. And I was in la la land because I was listening to the ka-ching from Shopify. It's like ka-ching, 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 and I'm just singing along like, yeah, it's money, it's money, it's money. This is so fun. But reality didn't hit me because again, I'm the dreamer. And he's the realistic guy. He's like, he goes, Russ, there's 1,000 boards. We don't know how to make 1,000 boards. He goes, Russ, do you have 1,000 sets of wheels? I'm like, no, I got like 20 here. He goes, do you have 1,000 sets of trucks? I'm like, no, I got 20. He goes, do you have 1,000 boxes?
Come on.
1,000 bearings?
Brent's just raining on your.
I know, he did. He did hardcore. And my saving grace is I've always been a solution guy.
Yeah.
People always come to me with their problems and mortgage, and I figure out what their problem is and come a solution. So I've always been a solution. I'm like, I'll figure it out. Just like make a website, whatever. I'll figure it out. Man.
Yeah.
So I called this Alan Wong guy in California, Riverside, California. And I go, Alan, hey, I need a lot of wheels and trucks and bearings. He owned a wholesale distribution company for skate.
Yeah.
And Alan's like, yeah, I saw your problem. He goes,
yeah.
He goes, I saw the TikTok, the Tic-Tac. What is that? So, I asked my daughter to log into TikTok so I could see it. And he goes, I got you covered. He goes, people love your product, Russ. Turn on your website. So that's when Brent and his wife came over, sat on my couch. We had the heart to heart. And I go, Brent, Alan says he can get us all the wheels and trucks and bearings that we need.
Mm-hmm.
I go, how much do you make at your job? He told me, I go, I think you ought to quit your job. We ought to do this. Because we had all this money just sitting in the bank that people paid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, and that's the beauty of online e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
You get their money first. So we built the business on the backs of
Mm-hmm.
the people that ordered. And and I flipped that website back on and we made almost $965,000 in 30 days.
How many boards?
That was like 6,800 or something like that orders in 1 month.
And how important was your scrappy background?
A lot. That's
You know what I mean? Like,
that's where all of I learned
mm-hmm.
of working till midnight, working till 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I didn't have to think about it.
No, this was just natural.
I just kicked in, and being a solution guy, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll call this and my wife also knew me well enough. She jumped right in. She went out and found 4 other machinists, says, hey, could you help us? Do you have a CNC machine? She didn't know anything about the machines. They're like, yeah, we do. She goes, can you cut this for us? And they're like, yeah. She goes, we'll pay you this much. Can you do 100 a day for us? So she committed this company up in Ogden.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went to Pleasant Grove, then to Highland, American Fork. And she went out and found 4, because Brent kept bringing me the problem. Like he goes, I can't at my lunch break make more than like 10 boards. So my wife's like, well, I'll figure it out. And I'm like, let's figure it out. So she went and found, she already committed that we could get 400 a day before we even owned a machine.
Yeah.
Then we went to Brent's company and said, if we use your machine, we'll pay you $5 a board. And they're like, oh, sweet. Okay, cool. And then we went to one of Brent's employees and says, hey, you're newly married. What are you doing at nights and weekends? He's like, I need to earn money. We're like, how about $20 an hour? He's like, oh, sweet. Yeah. And so we committed him to 100 boards he had to do for us.
Yeah.
So we went around the state looking for help. And then I went around to the neighborhood, and that's where all the moms came over, sitting at my kitchen table doing labels, and UPS and FedEx were sitting on my couch every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're like, how do you do a label to wherever, Canada?
Mm-hmm.
And so they were there every day. And then I had 3 pop-up tents in the driveway, and every teenager and underaged people at this time showing up. And I have Domino's Pizza on speed dial every day.
Right.
So they're delivering 20 pizzas a day and Mountain Dew every day. And I said, let's just do it. Just figure out this, whatever a problem is, let's figure it out. And so I'm organizing all the orders. I'm answering 600 emails every single day. And that became my life. And running a mortgage company.
Oh my gosh. Did you ever feel during that? Did you ever feel overwhelmed?
Oh, absolutely.
But okay. Did you ever feel like you couldn't do it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Every day. Every day is, can I pull this off? Can we do this? Am I going to cry? I'm getting people yelling at me like, when am I going to get my order? I actually built the Shopify website. I started putting a banner at the top that says, if your order is from this to this, you'll get it 3 months from now. If your order is this to this, you'll get it 4 months from now. And I'd update that every day saying,
wow,
telling people when they'll get their order.
And people kept ordering.
Yeah, and they still kept ordering. I was put on there like, can I get this for my birthday that's next week? Like, no. Unless you give me an extra $100. And then I'm rearranging a lot of rush orders.
Priorities, yeah.
Yeah, but I was making the money up for it. I'm like, okay, wait, these 20 now go in front of everybody else's. And then I'm running out of product like crazy too. Like, where's the white wheels? We're out. Then calling 100 people like, hey, I know you wanted white wheels, but we have blue, green, red, yellow, purple. We gonna take one of those guys? Like, yeah, we'll take blue. Okay. Then all of a sudden I'd find out, oh, we're out of blue now. It was a constant nightmare of inventory. Because I could not do inventory on the website because everything was still, you got to pick what size board you want, what design you wanted, what color trucks, what color wheels. So you don't know what is going to run out at any given time.
And so you're producing boards one at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, you may cut shapes, but you're making boards.
Every one of them is all being handmade. And so then Brent is going around teaching all these other machinists how to use how to engrave, how deep it needs to be, how thick and everything. And he's inspecting all of them and he's dropping off a new zip drive. Say, these are the ones you're doing today. You're doing all 40-inch boards, all butterflies and skeleton roses. You go, next one, you're doing all 30-inch boards, all going to do this. And then he was running around with a truck, just picking up, these boards every day, bringing them back to me
for assembly.
And I'm then trying to print out like which one goes to what.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to figure out shipping. We're trying to figure out boxes. We're trying to figure out, we messed up so bad on compliance. And so I had customers call me up and said, hey, Russ, I just got 14 boards sent to me and I only ordered one. And I'm like, okay, where's logistics?
Were you double printing labels?
Yeah, there'd be like 5 people just printing labels and they'd be like.
And they weren't crossed?
They weren't, yeah. Because I just said print. And you have 5 people all printing the same label, and then a label gets lost or something like, hey, where'd that label go? I don't know. And so they just go make a new label.
Mm-hmm.
So now, oh, what's that label right there? It says on the back, it's a fishbone. Here, we need a fishbone. Where's another? Like labels everywhere, packing slips everywhere, parts everywhere. My house is being trampled until we can get a warehouse. So then we got this big.
How long did that take? Like how long?
My wife was in real estate, so she jumped on that pretty quick. Mm-hmm. So she jumped on, Russ, you need a HR. You can't have any more of these 12-year-olds working here. No more Venmo, paying everybody.
You manage your payroll.
Yeah. She's like, bills need to get paid and you need a warehouse. It needs to be out of the house. And so she jumped in. She also is just like, I'm a solution person. I've been with Russ. And being the oldest of 5 girls, that's always kind of been her role is you just take care of everything. And so she's jumping in like, okay, I'm going to get you a warehouse. We're going to order a machine. Brent, which one? We need 2 machines. Okay, we need a forklift. We need, this. We need racking. And Russ, you order like the wind order 20,000 sets of wheels and trucks and bearings. Like, okay.
Could you have survived without your wife or someone with that kind of skill jumping in?
Yeah, because I had no idea. So she's networking with everybody. We have a neighbor that had a payroll company, so she's down talking to Terry. Payroll. Yeah, like how do we do payroll? How do we set up all these employees? How do we do this? So she jumped in that. It's like, I'll get all that set up. Give you W-9s to everybody and get everybody on a W-2. And so she's jumping in, figuring out, Russ, you need insurance, like workers' comp and like, okay, so she figured all that out. She's like, all right, let me call around to that. And I'm still trying to figure out sitting down with the FedEx and UPS guy, how to ship labels everywhere and what duties and taxes even mean.
Right.
I didn't even know that there's such a word.
Mm-hmm.
And like, send something to Canada, they have to pay an extra $46 for our board. I better tell the customer that.
Well, that's one of those things, shipping to Canada. Sometimes they show up on the doorstep and they're trying to collect from the customer.
Yeah, and I had a lot of those. Like, they won't give me the skateboard until I pay them another $46. Like, we forgot about that. So I need a company that calculates now. So you're learning on the fly. I mean, we have a airplane with all engines burning, going 900 miles an hour, thinking, all right, there's no parachutes. We just gotta do whatever we can figure out. And you wing most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so many business owners, they don't want to start a business. They get, I call frozen until everything's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to know exactly how this is done. And I'm thinking, dude, you'll never launch. And business will pass you by.
You're exactly right, because maybe it's not necessarily your personality. Maybe it's more like Brent's personality.
Yeah, it is.
But
he wanted to know,
like
all details.
Starting
and
a business.
And he to say, heck no, we're just...
Right. Someone may have a great idea, but that individual would be like, well, I don't know.
Analytical.
I don't know how to source. I don't know payroll. I don't know HR. I don't know all of the, and I'm going to have all of these things in place.
Yeah.
And you just said, I just want to make really cool skateboards. Let's do that.
And then my accountant at the end of the year, he had a lot of cleanup for me. His name was Bill. And it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, we need receipts for this. I need this. I'm like, so my wife had to go clean up a lot of stuff. Like, oh, our accountant needs all this so we don't get in trouble. Or did we pay any taxes to this? And
so how long did it take to find yourself in a place where you felt like
it was under control?
Yeah.
2 years.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was chaos for at least a good year and a half of madhouse.
Yeah.
Because you're learning, you're still making mistakes, learning.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this whiteboard in Elizabeth's office, and we'd write on it every month of just 3 things that were burning down, that was on fire. And my rule of thumb has always been you only fix 3 things a month, because at the end of the year I'd have 36 things I didn't have last year. Otherwise you get overwhelmed. If you wrote every problem going on.
Right. Yeah.
So Elizabeth, even today, I'll go in there and say, okay, tell me why you got emails. What's the most common email? Feel like this. They don't understand how to charge the LEDs. I go, okay, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to do a QR code. It'll be inserted with now the board.
Mm-hmm.
So then they can scan it, goes to YouTube, talks about it. So every little thing has been like that. Like, oh, I noticed that people are like, oh yeah, just tighten it with your skate tool. And a bunch of people are like, I don't know what a skate tool is. So today, everybody that buys a board gets a skate tool for free. They don't even know that, and then it has instructions. Your wheel doesn't light up, it lights up with friction. You just tighten it. If you need to change. So I'm like, I solved a huge problem just by inserting a $1 skate tool into every order. So I've learned little things like that of, okay, how do I fix? So every year I'm like, okay, I have 36 things I have last year. And now what's the new 3 fires that I got to figure out? So that's all I'm doing is fixing 3 things now.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting lesson as well of, every business is going through something, probably more than 3 things at a time.
Oh yeah.
But if you can prioritize, if you have that.
If you can.
If you can.
Because I always say, if our phone rings or we get an email, we failed somewhere on telling people what they're getting on the website or in the package that they opened up. So I always ask her, why did we get phone calls? And it'd be, and it's an old grandma, I'm ordering a board for my granddaughter, and I don't know what size or what to get her. And then we help her out. But so a lot of things, like, okay, that was a one-off. But if everybody called, says, I don't know what size for me, then I put it for a long time around the front page, it's still on there, what's the right size for me?
Oh.
So I started to try to figure out, okay, let's just put that on there.
Yeah.
What about Q&A? Let's put that on there.
Sure.
So every day I'd always have the same questions. Oh, do you ship worldwide? Are they slippery? Do I need grip? Will they break easy? What's the weight limit? Okay. All those things now I've addressed. I address it on my Instagram. Those 5 things are written. We ship worldwide. No, they're not slippery. A weight limit is 240 for our 3/4 and 680 for our 1 inch.
680 pounds?
Yeah.
Does it matter? Does the length matter?
No, not on that one, because it's a 1 inch. I call it my big boy edition.
Yeah.
And then I even have a video of 2 guys that weigh over 300 pounds, both jumping on it.
Do you have a particular demographic that seems to...
Yeah, with us, it's really weird. Most skateboard companies tend to a 11-year-old to 25-year-old male. Most... we fit in to a 2-year-old to a 60-year-old, which is really odd. And then 68% female. Most skateboard companies only sell to 90% male, 10% female. Now with the Olympics picking up skateboarding, more females have started getting into the skateboarding world. But we came out with, we have girl designs, or you can design it. No other longboard company has mermaids on their boards and butterflies and whatever. And we do it. but also we do the skulls and the bears and the vipers, for the guys. So we're this weird company that we don't quite fit in. I always say we don't have competition. And because we'll get a brand new 2-year-old that wants their first board, and they want light up wheels and look cute, and they want some little something on it.
Yeah.
And then we get a 13-year-old girl that's like, I'm afraid my brother won't let me touch a skateboard or longboard. I kind of want my own. I want to go learn, try to do it. And then brother sees hers like, well, shoot, I could get the one with the skulls on it and the drop through and the meaner wheels, the cooler, faster wheels. And then he gets it. And then dad's like, hey, I'm 40 years old. I can go out and ride with my kids.
Right.
So he wants one that's kind of fits his style. Then the mom comes along and says, can I get the long 48 one, easy to ride, cruise with my daughter, down the road to the mailbox and kind of have fun. And it's cute.
Yeah.
I want the pink and yellow on it. So we'll hit all these demographics. Then we hit companies really hard, which is wild. A third of our business companies come say, we want a cool gift for our clients or our customers. Like we've done the oddest ones too. I mean, for Utah Jazz bought 300 boards for all their top clients. And then we had a orthodontist bought 100 boards to give to all his dentists that gave him business with each of their logos on it.
Oh.
We had a developer for Christmas came and said, I need 300 boards with all of our investors that have given us money, and wanted their name and year that they invested in their company. And then we do a lot of one-offs. So like Cut Bop will open up a new store and say, hey, can we get a Cut Bop board for a giveaway? Beach's Tanning Salon wanted one. So what's weird about us, we've done HR companies, AI companies, to sports, so every company, like, well, a skateboard's not for our company. Well, Bamboo HR didn't think so. They bought 150 of them. Utah Jazz didn't think so. Waffle Love didn't think so. So I don't know what your deal is. We've done banks, credit unions, to Zion's Bank did a ghost board giveaway.
Well, I just walked you around our office with your board beforehand, and you saw how excited people got about it. I mean,
it's different.
A guy got up. One of our developers got up. He was showing you pictures and looking at this. So another guy walked out and said, your board made me switch from a competitor.
Yeah.
And
because it's different.
And we have one guy who works here who had a son who was working for the company.
Yeah, worked for us. I had to see his picture again, see who he was. And so that's what I think I love about Ghost Boards rather than just another skateboard company. And when you see one of ours in the wild, you see a guy on a skateboard or longboard riding by, you don't know the brand of that one, except ours. You'll see something with LEDs lit up or clear. You're like, oh, that's a
I know that one.
That's a ghost board.
Yeah.
I can't pick out a Land Yacht, Sector 9, any other brand longboard that's just riding by on the street.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
No.
So we kind of stick out like a sore thumb.
Where did you... Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way.
In a good way. How did you come up with a name?
Well, they're clear.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, ghost.
You didn't
clear.
have some epiphany about
where I did struggle is on a logo. I didn't make a logo till like 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
So I found some logo as this red skull, and I put ghost in its teeth, and I don't know. I just thought it looked cool, but it had nothing to do with a ghost. And someone kept hitting me up. You need a ghost. You need a ghost. And finally, one of the guys that worked with us named Chris, he's like, Russ, we need a logo. You don't have a logo at all. And as when we'll go through identity crisis later, I'll do my cleanup of the business later.
Yeah.
Because actually the business started as, I had another business, side business, night job. It's called Marketing Fruit. I built mobile apps and games. So I had games like Billy Booger and I had a mortgage calculator. So Ghost Longboard was a DBA of Marketing Fruit. Eventually I had to get Ghost Longboard its own EIN number. And then I said, I don't want to be more than just longboards. So then I shortened it to Ghost Boards. Then I decided to incorporate it in Delaware. And now I just pulled it back to Utah. Again, I didn't write the checklist of what should you do to start a
No,
business.
I know.
Do you need a logo? So I'm like,
It's perfect.
so we finally made a logo, and he's like, well, you have to file that. And I'm like, okay. So I hired an attorney firm. So I didn't do everything in the very beginning. Yeah, I just did it recently.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I guess I need a logo. Okay, now I have a logo.
Yeah.
And then I needed a name registered, and then I needed, all these things. I just kind of, I'll get to one of those things later and fix it. Then I moved from Shopify to WooCommerce, and that was an overhaul that I was not expecting. That one kicked my butt. You go from a system that just makes life so easy. And then it kept breaking on me because Shopify only allowed us to have 100 variations per product. And every one of my product had almost 1,000 variations. So there's 22 different colors of trucks, 40 different types of wheels, 6 different shapes. And Shopify, you can't do that. You can only have 100. So I'd have to have butterfly this version, butterfly this version, butterfly this version on my website. And then I had all these add-ons and all these plugins, and I was up to spending like a couple $1,000s a month on the Shopify. And then you're using their payment processor, which I didn't know what a payment processor was. And then they're like, oh, if you go build your own website on this WordPress, you have to have a payment processor. You have to have this. And I'm like, oh, so I shopped that out. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I just saved $35,000 a year now by getting a different payment processor. I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know you can keep shopping those out like your insurance.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then now I own the website, and then I had to figure out a hosting company. So I went with one hosting company, like, oh, you got too much data. Now it's going to be this much. Yeah. I'm like, so I found this one called Hostinger, and they're like, yeah, pay for 3 years. We'll get you the fastest speed. And it's a one-time fee. I'm like,
sounds better.
Yeah. I'm like, so I own my website. I don't have any monthly fees on it. I have it hosted on my server. I can host up to 50 websites on this server I had to buy, whatever. But I don't need that many. And I have no more plugins. And I got to customize my website, everything I wanted. And I got a new payment processor.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, okay. So that, you learn these things. Like, I never tell people not to do shop. If you're starting a business, go do a $39.95 Shopify website. You guys can pay me later, Shopify. You guys are wonderful. Until you do a variation.
Until they're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you look back across this experience, what has been the most meaningful marketing effort that you've made in terms of increasing?
You mess up on every marketing thing because you get sold like, oh, spend money on Pinterest. Okay. Oh, hey, go spend money on TikTok, Google, Amazon, blah, 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 Facebook. And I'll tell you a couple of things back up. So we opened up a retail store at the outlets too. That was probably one of the coolest decisions I made to open it, and coolest decisions ever to close it. So no, and I'll explain why. It's when you open up retail, that's where I got real feedback on our boards. I got to watch customers, how they interacted with them, touch them, feel them, look at them, walk through, because you don't get to see that on your website, how they view your product. And I got so much feedback from opening up this brick and mortar. And my daughter loved it. She's like, Dad, I don't want to be the only girl out of 50 guys working at the warehouse. She wanted a store. So we opened up this retail store, and she killed it. And she used raving fans as, it was funny. We had a chair up there, to sit behind the counter. And my rule was, if someone walked in the store, first of all, I use raving fans to a T and Disney experience. So both doors are open. It didn't matter if it's snowing or not, because people will walk by if they feel like they have to open up a door. So both doors are always open. Feel the air, if it's cold air, hot air, whatever's coming through. You come in, you walk in, and you have to ask them a question. Have you ever been here before? And not most people, when you walk in a store, if you go to the Gap or Nike store, they'll say, "Hey, can I help you?" And what do you always say? No, just
just browsing.
So we get the no out of them. Say, "Have you ever been here before?" And they always say, "No, I haven't." And we say, "Great, let me take you on a tour." So the employee has to take them on a tour. Here's the demo rack. You ride any of these you want in the store. You can do whatever you want. Here's all the different sizes, shapes. Here's our soda shop in the back. Here's a couch to hang out. And we have a spin wheel, come win a free prize. So you interact with them, taking around the store on a tour, and then we'd give away a prize. And on the spin wheel is like, had this big coffin of free candy, or you win a sticker, or you win a keychain, or you land on it, says, "Do a chore for me." And so I'd give you if you land on it, you got a rag and a squirt bottle, and you had to go clean it, one of the boards on the wall. It was the funniest thing ever because people wanted to do it. I had kids always line up, no, can I just do the chore? And so we made it interactive. So we had 80s music for the parents in there. So every parent walking like, "Oh, this is kind of fun."
Yeah.
I remember Depeche Mode. I remember Oingo Boingo. Yeah. And then we have a TV on there with for the skaters, couches for the grandmas to sit on. And we just made it this fun interactive place. So what I learned for the very best in marketing is I had to learn how the customers viewed my product. And I learned how important the window shopping was. So in the window, I put the craziest boards. That's where my top ramen board was, my guitar-shaped longboard. I mean, anything that I could have Brent make the craziest, weirdest, because that got people to stop and say, "What in the world? I got to go walk in there and see what's in there." So, and your website is the same. So on the front of my website is me riding the UFO board. That's the very top. Because you have to say, "What in the world?" It's a LED UFO longboard. I'm going to look, see what else there is in here.
Yeah.
What other weird, crazy dude is making. So marketing is, I think, is learning a lot about your customer and how they view you and tweaking to them. What I learned, so Brent's favorite design that he came up with, nobody ever wanted to buy. It's called the Epicenter. Actually, I ride all the time because it reminds me all the time how important it is to listen to your customer versus your idea. Brent doesn't like butterflies. I don't like butterflies. But we listened to our customer and made the butterfly board, made a skeleton rose as our number one, dragon, things that we never thought of. Our original 10 hardly ever sell. And so the number one thing is watch and listen to your customer for marketing and adapt to them. Number two was the importance of going deep with an influencer. And instead of just asking for a product, we probably do more with influencers than probably most companies. But I go deep with them. I find out, who are you? What's your demographics? This is what my expectations are. What are your expectations? And get to know them.
Build a relationship.
And then say, okay, I have this girl named Surf Stara in the Netherlands. And I talked to her brother because he protects all the weirdos out there. She's this hot girl riding a board, skimpy clothes, whatever. And she's a hardcore skater, but then fell in love with our longboards. Like, oh, so the skaters love her because she can kick flip and do all these crazy skate tricks. And then she goes dances on our longboards and it goes viral to the point YouTube just reposted her. Wow. Yeah. I'm thinking, oh, that was, I mean, people love her. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Let's make sure we have a good relationship.
Yeah.
So that's so I think relationship. So you can spend money on Google, spend money on Meta, spend money on all those things. I think the last advice is don't say no. I listened to a talk from the CEO of Skull Candy. He said, people kept trying to push him to be on TikTok Shop. And he's like, everybody's like, oh, no, we got our website. And he goes, I don't know, I'll probably hash it, but I think it's like 20% of their business now. Because he said yes. So I don't think you can say, oh, TikTok's not for me. Instagram's not for me. YouTube's not for me. Reddit's not for me. Why? I went down that road. I said Amazon wasn't for me because I thought, oh, they take 30% of my profits. I don't want to be on Amazon. Now I'm kicking myself. I did my first year on Amazon last year. I did like 125,000 the first year. I'm thinking, geez, I wish I would have started 8 years ago. I'd probably be at $1 million a year. You know, just I think, why was I so blind to I don't want to be on Amazon? Then I go home and every single day my wife has a package on the
from
porch
Amazon.
From Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and so I don't think you can say I don't like Snapchat, I don't like TikTok, I don't like. You know, I'm saying I don't know.
Got to give it a shot. Give it a
Let's
shot.
look at it.
Yeah.
Does it make sense or not make sense?
Right.
So my advice is don't be closed-minded to any marketing thought, idea, opportunity. And sometimes you fell at them.
Sure.
Yeah, we just launched on I probably shouldn't say out loud because I don't know yet, but one of them that should the appearance look like we could kill it, but I haven't seen a single order from it yet.
Oh.
And so, and we're hard to be found on this website, and they get millions of, you know, like, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's us, maybe it's them, maybe, I went through a lot of work to get the warehouse audit done and this insurance policy to be on this, do business with these people and the licensing for this. And so I'm still like hopeful I didn't waste X amount of time and energy and cost, but sometimes it will happen.
Sure.
And sometimes you have to eventually pull the plug on, okay, we're not good on XYZ platform.
Right.
Try a different one.
Your discussion about influencers, I mean, would you say that started with Maddie?
No, a little before Maddie, there was a couple others that helped me grow my Instagram page because it's hard to start from scratch. You're in the business. You have, I have 1 follower. It's my mom. She would always like comment and everything. Best board ever. I'm like, yep, rated by my mom. She ordered the first 3 boards to give to my nieces. My mom's my first customer.
That's great.
And actually Brent's mom, my mom passed away a few years ago, but his mom is also one of our biggest raving fans. She likes every post I post. She comments, fire and hearts on every little thing. And so we've had both of our moms be like our raving fan, helping us out.
That's great.
But yeah, we'd slowly start selling. And then, I'd get some famous girl like, hey, can I work out a deal? So in the beginning, there's a few that also we jumped to 30,000 followers from a few of those way before Maddie. I think we were almost at 100,000 followers before Maddie came in because we were starting to do, 30 boards a month. And then all of a sudden Vivint ordered 150 boards. Like, okay, that was cool. Then we'll do 30. And then, we started doing this slow climb and then few influencers would bounce us. We were getting this heartbeat of influencers until she came about, and then it was a spike.
And that launched, yeah.
Yeah.
And you did something nice for Maddie as well.
We did, yeah. So, I got friends with her mom and dad too. And we set her up and we started paying her 15%, or actually 16%, more than any other. All the other influencers got 15. She got 16 on anything that came through her. And so it paid for her, I think, her first year of college. And yeah, I think she made $40,000. And we did some custom boards with her and Christmas gifts. And
yeah,
she's still on my list. She just got married last month. I do want to fly her up to Utah. It's been on my list to come take a tour and a visit. There's 3 people who have made like this huge difference in us, been cheerleaders of sporting. But I want, one of them actually said that she's coming up to Utah this next week or 2. I've been working with her since she was like 13 years old, and now she's this big time model, something, in her 20s. And, I've talked to, again, I've also met her mom and dad and said that she's coming up to Utah, and she flies over the country from Dubai to everywhere. So, but it's still fun that she'll still talk to me, because we have this relationship when she was before she was famous. You know,
Yes, absolutely. Well,
and I think that's fun is for me to get to even watch some of these people that have used my product to go famous or go viral.
sure.
And it's been kind of fun because then we get to talk, you know, how fun it's been.
You get to go on that journey as well. That's really, that's very cool.
Like I got that new girl in California. She's just on this journey. I mean, she just posted 3 days ago and her post story is like 220,000 views on it. Wow. And she doesn't know she's famous yet. I mean, she's, like we're still we're still texting.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that was so awesome. And
that's great.
And when she goes famous, I just hope that she remembers the little people, or all the little people that.
Well, you've done such a nice job of building relationships. I'm sure that's.
Yeah, and I think that's what's fun is I try not to intimidate people and be real with them, be transparent, with them of what we're doing, what our purpose is, and how we can make a difference.
Yeah. Has there been a nearly catastrophic mistake that you've made over this period?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
A few of them. I think all businesses, you get punched in the face with business. You think things are fine until they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And you take your hands off the steering wheel and you realize the car just went off the cliff and where's the parachute? And we have. You go through these different crises of how do we fulfill all the orders, trying to stop business. We're trying to slow it down to get our hands on top of it, to organize the business, to making huge mistakes. And we've done it. We've because so much of it was always bootstrapped where, I had to come in and say, oh my gosh, we didn't think about Amazon. We didn't think about these other, and we're in a different world where life just isn't, houses just don't appreciate 3% a year and rates stay the same. We're in this crisis from COVID to economy to Democrat Republicans hating each other to world problems to tariffs to there's so much there's so many more moving parts, I think, in a life that falls into business. Is there a middle class anymore today? Is it only rich versus poor? Will people spend money on groceries or a longboard today? Are they in survival mode themselves on $5 gas, or now it's $2 something? Like everybody's unsure. And there's certain people have abundance, but your middle class is what really generates America. And that buys, it does spending and all the reports. And I think they're hurting right now. And we have a product that fits in more do I got $200 for a longboard, or do we spend $200 on something else, or something like, and so we've hit, so we've been pivoting. So we've been punched in the face a few times where, I just brought an investor, sold 10% of the company to, and I'm actually going to do it one more time. I'm going to sell another 10% or 20% of the company. The problem with the product is I've got $500,000 worth of product sitting on my shelves. It's all paid for. It's all raw material. So I'm in good shape. So I can make anything. If I was another type of skateboard company, I would have picked a skull and I would have had $500,000 of skulls
sitting on your
it's on my shelf. So we're very nimble, and I could pivot to this balance board, which, I could pivot to the cornholes. I could pivot to other things. I've got the machines paid off, the forklifts paid, but, we're like, okay, I've made mistakes in my Google used to cost me $6.86 a sell, which is insane. I was told, I thought it was like, that was normal. And now it's $58. And so I'm thinking, whoa, okay. Okay, where's my cost? We have tariffs. We didn't change our prices. We have a 55% tariff on raw material, coming in. So you're like, okay, I got to absorb 55%. Amazon takes 30%. Google takes 30%. you know, and so you're trying to pivot, but I can't take my price any higher. I'm already at where people look for pricing on a longboard. So
Yeah.
you're trying to be nimble and okay, what do we do? And here's the hard truth: most CEOs never want to unveil their hardships or how hard it is. They always want to put on a face of, we're happy, we're the Willy Wonka chocolate factory.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, the hardship is I went a year and a half without a paycheck from it. And the way we set up in the very beginning, me and Brent would pay ourselves just $5 a board. And it'd be very easy, but hardships come and it only falls on one person's shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got $130,000 of overhead, okay, no one else cares.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to figure out, okay, I have to pay that no matter what. And so there's hard decisions that have to happen. You cut out certain things. You're like, okay, how do I take my overhead down to 50 or 60,000? And what things do I not want or need? And we ran down that road on that, buying that Zoom info and I'm paying now $2,000 a month and no one's logged in, for 3 months. Like, oh, shoot. It looked cool when I got the demo.
Right.
Or
it'll look amazing.
or this other software I'm paying now. There's another one. I'll probably be cutting you off today. $2,000 a month that they promised me this return on investment, and I've got 3 orders from it in 4 months. And at the end, okay, that's expensive board,
Yeah.
And so you start cutting off things and try to readjust, and then you finally say, can I do it myself, or do I need to bring in someone to help you?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a hard pill to swallow as a owner of a company of like, okay, I may need help. And is it a bad thing? Actually, it isn't. Sometimes you need someone that has talents and things that you have, or, we have this one account. We're on the 1 yard line. This big company said they've got like 600 something stores, said, hey, we'll test you in 50 stores. Let us figure out which 50 stores. And I know we'll kill it in there. And I'm on that 1 yard line, but also it's, as soon as they even say yes for 50 stores, I got to be able to make X amount of boards in an amount of time to get them out there. And then right now, I'm right in the middle. I've got acrylic on the ocean coming in at a 55% tariff. And I'm hoping, the boat doesn't sink, because it's like $200,000 worth of, acrylic in these containers, and you have to float that, So in a product, you're floating all that cost on your shelves.
Yeah.
Everybody's got rent. Everybody has employees. Everybody has insurance. But then you have a product of raw materials you have to have X amount of.
Yeah.
So I am at that point, remove the face mask. Yeah, we've done millions. We've done well. We've had a lot of fun. But to go into wholesale and B2B, some of these, to expand and pivot, it's going to take some money that's going to make me really, really uncomfortable. That I may say, gosh, I need somebody that loves, again, a face-to-face. Does somebody love this as much as I do to come in and say, I can help you and not be a shark.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge you 30% interest. That will sink you too, rather than I'll come in for $5 a board too, or 10% interest, or a 10% ownership, or a 20% to help you now get into the big box stores. Because when you get in the big box, the business then becomes residual.
Yeah.
Because a direct to consumer is not residual. And this is a hard thing I've learned.
Yeah.
I love the big box because, like Ron John's, they order every other month, and I'm like, oh, okay, if I'm in 1,000 stores, and every one of them are selling only 3 boards a month.
Yeah. That's a lot of boards.
That's 3,000 boards a month.
Yeah.
At a, X margin, I could make a ton of money just on 3,000 boards a month. At one point when you started kind of like, oh, I want to do biggest company in the world. I want to do 10,000 boards a month. But you have to figure out what's your sweet spot. And our sweet spot really is that 3,000 boards a month we make a lot of money without needing another machine or more costs or bigger rent or bigger, all those things. Like, so me and Brandon have gone through, and that's why I could tell you it takes every design. He could tell you that design is 7.5 minutes to cut. That was 12 minutes. The 70 times 7 minutes. So I could say, okay, we can do 100 boards a day really easy. Our max was 401. That was our record. Yeah, but that was uncomfortable. That was but we can do 100 a day, clock in, and still love our job and make a lot of money doing it. And so he had to kind of bring me back in. Say, Russ, you keep wanting to be here. Why don't we look at a really cool business here?
Yeah.
So we've gone through a lot of mistakes.
Sure.
Blown money that was life experiences, business experiences. And I wish other business owners would have came to me and said, can I coach you a little bit? I'm going to tell you mistakes I've made. So today, actually, I've been trying to do that.
Yeah.
So I go help teach a class at UVU and American Fork High School in Salt Lake Community. And I tell any young entrepreneur, if you're starting a business, come in my office. I'm going to tell you, don't do your shipping this. Don't go drop your stuff off at the post office. You're wasting money. Do this. Here's how you do your taxes and duties. Here, and actually, I have 2 companies in my warehouse right now. They're incubators. And I've had quite a few. They move in for a couple months to get started. We help them, and eventually they move out.
Yeah.
And I would want to do more of that because I want to help them don't fall for the traps I did.
Sure.
They come to me and said, hey, should I spend $5,000 on this marketing tool? The one you're getting ready to cut off? I'm like,
don't do that.
don't do that one.
Yeah.
Better yet, can I introduce you to one of my influencers I like? They'll love your product.
Yeah.
And I've done a bunch of that. So
yeah,
I'd rather help. I think I want to get to a point where I can help other businesses not make the mistakes I made. I don't know why there's not more that don't.
There's one thing that you talked about, I heard, where you say something like, talk to everybody, and you're willing to offer, to consult, to offer advice, to help people overcome obstacles, even in the same industry.
Oh, yeah.
And that's been super meaningful for you.
A ton. Yeah, I'm best friends with now, I think, every skate longboard company. They were afraid of me in the beginning. I'd go to a trade show and I felt like there's a bubble around me. They'd see me and like, ooh, they'd walk around me. And I was like, so I just go walk in their bubble. Like, hey, I'm Russ at Ghost Boards. You're the owner of Sector 9. Oh, let me shake your hand. And at first I made them uncomfortable. Now they see me like, oh, it's just Russ. But I help them out too. There's a brand new skateboard company in Minneapolis, and he calls me all the time. So he goes, Russ, I need help. And so I'm selling them now wheels and trucks and bearings and are really even cheaper than I would sell anyone because he's starting out. And I even told him he shipped me one for free to check it out. It's this crazy new board that's pretty wild. And I said, how much does that cost you to ship to me? He told him, I go, dude, let me help you out. I go, you just paid triple what you should be paying. I go, I know you're not big enough, but I could work out a deal. I'll charge you $1. It should be labeled to use my account or something, and all the time people are like, well, where did you get your boxes made? You just bought from Uline? Dude, you're paying like $6 a box. Let me show you where you can get them for $1.88. So I'm good friends with a couple skate companies in California and kind of all over. And one in Detroit, we talk all the time. He's like, hey, Russ, if you could help me also, if you get in that store, will you, as we share, he's like, hey, if you talk to that buyer, tell them about me too.
Right.
And we do.
Yeah.
So I'll see him at the Surf Expo. He's like, hey, what leads did you get? He goes, who did you talk to? I go, oh, I didn't see that, that store buyer. He goes, let me give you the name and phone number. And so I'm thinking, I'm not their competition. They're not mine, but we're all trying to do the same thing. So we talk all the time, like, where do you get your wheels, or how much you pay for that? How much is your box?
Yeah.
How you doing shipping? So we're trying to coach each other, mentorship of in the same industry.
Right.
And most people are so afraid, like, oh, no,
Yeah, absolutely.
you're another mortgage guy. No, I'm not going to tell you my secrets.
You're a competitor, and I can't give you any advantage. And yeah,
I'm like, guys, let it down. Like, seriously, even mortgages would be like there's 6,000 people bought houses here in Utah last month. How many loans can you do really a month?
can you do 6,000?
Yeah, maybe 10, 12. Okay.
Yeah,
Dude, that'll keep you so busy and make you so much money. We're not a competition, man. You work with those 3 realtors. I work with these 3.
yeah,
There's plenty for everybody.
yeah. You don't have the
Yeah,
scarcity
live
mindset.
live in abundance here.
Right.
If you want help, where to place that loan, call me up.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or skateboard shop, and that's others like, oh no, I can't tell you my secret of who the buyer is, for that store. I'm like, why? Are you afraid there's going to kick you out and bring me in? That you're so insecure of your skateboard
Yeah.
that it just sucks that bad
Yeah.
that I'm going to
That's
do
a
it
bad-
anyway.
That's a bad place to be.
Yeah, you're in a
The
real
market's
bad
going to
spot.
figure that out.
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah. The buyer will figure that out.
Yes. Did we ever talk about, you said one of the best things you ever did or the coolest things you ever did was shut down your retail store?
Yeah, I'd say. So what happened with that? So we had it for like 4 years. I learned so much from the customer.
Mm-hmm.
A retail store is like owning another business.
Yeah.
One is you have security cameras, you have cash, you have theft, you have, and then you have to sell more than just longboards. I had to have shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, fidget rings, because everyone that walks in doesn't have a $200 bill in their pocket,
Mm-hmm.
but they have a $5. Okay, I have to have chapstick now. Oh, they have a $20. I have to have a tech deck. Oh, they have. And so I had to start learning. I had to have a ticket item for $5, a $20 item, a $50 item, a $75 item, $100 item. And then you're open, and then the malls kick your butt. They don't care if it's snowing. You can't leave until it's close time. Doesn't matter if there's not been a single person that's come to your store. I did. I told one of my guys, dude, go home for this. There's no one. He goes, I haven't seen one in like 3 hours. I go home. Then I got a bill for $50 in the mail from the mall. You closed early.
Ah.
Yeah. So and then Adidas came in and they told the mall that they wanted our space. So the mall's like, Ghost Sports or Adidas. They said, sorry, Ghost, you guys are gone. We want Adidas. Yeah, they booted us. But it was a great thing because it was another job. I'd be at the warehouse till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I would go up to the store to bring inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd get calls all the time. Oh, I forgot it's school dance on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I was working every Friday night, every Saturday, and every Sunday because kids like, oh, my mom says I have to go to church. And so I was working 3 Sundays out of the month. I was working 3 Saturdays out of the month. So talking about a retail store can own you. I mean, I learned some valuable lessons, but man, whew. So today I'm like, it's kind of nice
not to have
another business in a way.
Yeah.
But also I learned from that when I go now sell to stores, what the expectations are.
Yeah.
I know how a store runs.
Yeah.
And I've never done retail before. So
that was,
I feel like I'm an expert now in retail.
In the retail side. Absolutely.
So if anyone out there ever has a retail store wants some feedback, I could tell you we killed it on having the spin wheel and free candies and stickers and we got so many Google reviews, people up there, and I mean just a hangout place for people.
Yeah.
And people would always come back like, yeah, we're here because my kids, they just wanted to come back to the ghost store.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
It's like going to the pet shop.
Yeah,
See the
that was
puppies.
it. That was us. Yeah, we were like the pet shop.
Yeah.
Because they could ride around in there to have fun.
Yeah. You're a relationship guy, and we've just talked about all of the challenges that you've gone through and, still have challenges that you face. Did that ever strain any of the relationships of people that you worked with? I mean, maybe specifically like Brent.
Yeah. A lot of people think, oh, they don't see me. I mean, the United States, me and Brent are pretty open about this, is we had some hard talks. Some really hard talks, because also it's a new marriage in a way, and you both have different work ethics, you both have different talents, and You're both, we've gotten, besides that very first one, I'm yelling at me about shut the website off. We've had many of those trying to get to know each other, how to work with each other of, well, what are you doing? Why am I here on Saturday? You're not. To why am I here till midnight trying to get all this figured out? You're not. Why are you off at doing a podcast? I'm here running a CNC machine. No, no, but there becomes all sorts of those conversations you have to say, and you have to be very good at communicating. So me and Brant do. I stop by his office. I walk in, his office on the bottom. I'm up above him, upstairs. I stop in his office, check on him. What do you got today? What's most important? What do you see? We talk about what's on my plate. And every time I come downstairs, or he'll come up to my office like, hey, Russ, there's this. Why don't you come look at it? Tell me what you think. Are we on the right? So we have to talk all the time. If I'm down getting ready to go do a trade show, I'm saying, all right, Brent, do I have everything ready? Do you want to look at this? Do you want to, before I take off? And then I'm calling them sometimes. Hey, I just heard this person hadn't heard that from anyone. Can you please pick up the phone and call this? And this thing just got messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's anytime someone has partners, you gotta sit down and communicate. And
even through the hard stuff. So I'm guessing that you're not a guy that lets it sit. Like if there's a hard thing,
no, I actually hate confrontation. I hate it. And my wife just always pushes me that you got to go have the hard talk. I've always been more of the nice guy of, all right, I'll fix them. I'll make people feel good. More of a giver than anything else. I'd rather give up everything of mine to make sure someone else is happy. And it's one of my weaknesses. I'll be the last guy to take care of myself. I'm the last guy that gets something, even from a paycheck. Everyone else will get paid, before me. And everybody will get something for me. And that's my personality and a weakness too.
Well, yeah. I mean, overall, probably a strength, but
yeah, but
in the moment, it can be.
According to my family, it's a weakness.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I really appreciate all of this insight. It went a different direction, and I'm so glad it did, because I think we got all of this really fascinating business insight, background, and your personality, and things that are really meaningful to you, and how that's been helpful in building this business. Okay, I just have two more questions before I let you go. One is, does Brent think that he made the right decision?
Yes.
To quit his job?
No, he loves it. He's always worked for somebody his entire life, that 8 to 5. And he will tell you all the time, he loves his job. He loves what he does.
That's great.
Yeah. And every day he thinks it's a blessing that he gets to share his talent and his artistry, with the world. So yeah, he loves it.
That's great. Okay. That's good. All right. As you look back across this whole journey so far and starting this business and not really having I don't know if it's a plan is the right word, but understanding all of the components or being super thoughtful about all of the pieces that you would have to consider, would you do anything differently?
Yeah. I think people always ask that, even with life. A lot of times we always say, I wouldn't want to change anything how I was raised or grown up, because it actually made you who you are today. I think business is the same. All the hardships, all things actually kind of make you and what you know today. Yes, there's always little things. I wish I would have done this, like blah, blah, blah. You can't change it, but yet you have to say, what did I learn to help somebody else out in another business, or your future business, or your current business? How do I learn from those good and bad, exciting, and take the good, say, how do I duplicate that again? The bad is, how do I remember, put that sticky note on my desk to never do that again? And so you never want to change anything. Even if we go bankrupt, fail, it'll still be the best experience of my life, because I learned so much of the good, the bad, the relationship. Everything's still good. no matter what. You learn from the experiences, and it makes you, again, who you are.
Yeah, that's great.
So
Well-
if I'm homeless with a sign out there, it doesn't really matter.
Well, Russ, thank you so much. This has been fascinating. I hope you'll come back and see us again, and
Love to.
and we might even twist your arm. I think a lot of people are interested in acquiring one of these.
I need a logo, but we'll make it small.
Yes,
Yeah.
just enough to see it.
Yeah, they remember where it came from.
That's
Or
right.
the cool design.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
Thank
love
you.
to. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you for listening to the Know Your Ship podcast presented by eHub. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.